Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. We're going to take a quick look here at Elon. I got a tremendous amount of requests here recently to kind of keep an eye on this here moving forward. Obviously, it just increased as well again today, so we'll see what's going on exactly to hopefully help understand that. And we always look at Bitcoin first, just so you know. And if you're new to the channel, not a financial advisor, I am here for educational purposes only, and my goal is to help instruct you on best practice to become essentially a better trader. I have a trading community, link in the description below. Check that out in your own time if you'd like. Really good group of folks, and I send out signals for every single trade that I take. We are very profitable, but besides that, let's go ahead and take a look here at Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin is performing well. It's actually doing exactly what I was hoping for it to do. In other words, it broke outside of this descending wedge pattern, which is typically a bullish pattern. You can see the price come down and breaking out. It's also hanging out just underneath the simple moving average on the 50. Basically, the 50-day simple moving average on the 4-hour chart. Perfect. That's exactly what we'd like to see, and it's starting to make a rise up here. It's also making higher highs and higher lows, right? So we got good stuff here. We should be able to see a higher high here soon, hopefully within the next, I would say, 12 to 24 hours to try to breach this section here that's kind of stopping it out about 63,500 as a close approximate. Seems to be somewhat of a small resistance zone. So that being said, Bitcoin is in good shape here right now. Moving on to Elon. This is in even better shape, as I'm sure you already understand and know. That's why you're watching the video, because you want to find out how much further it's going to go. And if it doesn't, where's it going to go from here, right? Is it going to go back down? I get that question a lot. Well, I think short answer is no. It shouldn't go back down, at least not for some time. I mean, I would have ventured to guess that we're going to see some consolidation soon. That has to happen based on how much it's increased. Get this, in 2 days, this is 2 trading days, it's up over 225%. Okay, so that's a tremendous amount of increase, a lot of volume, and oftentimes, the bears are going to want to take their profit. That's just all there is to it. However, leading into that, we've got 2 major resistances from before that had just broken, right? We got the resistance here of the all-time high, at least the 1-day candlestick closed all-time high, about 223, and right about, 244 for the previous all-time high. The price is presently above both. Okay, so awesome stuff there. Obviously, nothing to really worry about here with the RSI. Most of the time, I would say, be concerned because the price will come crashing back down on you. But with us just passing the all-time high, that's a very strong support level. We should expect a strong support again between 223 and 244. So right in that little range there is a nice support channel. Moving on to the 4-hour chart here, let's go ahead and see if we can identify anything further. We got previous support and resistance levels. What we can do as well is we probably want to mark this here. This is probably a pretty good support. Heaven forbid the price were to lose the current support. We could see it come all the way down to about 164 and bounce. Let's go ahead and mark the Fibonacci, kind of see what's going on here, and just get an understanding of where we're at here. So we do see I like 382. 382 is a really good support level for Fibonacci. In other words, 197 is a strong support here if we do end up losing these other 2. Furthermore, big picture here as well, to kind of address some of the long-term questions. How much further can this go? Well, obviously, sky's the limit for the most part at this point, right? We don't know truly. Now this broke at its all-time high. There's a strong chance it could continue to increase. I would like to see a consolidation period for about 24 to 48 hours, if nothing else before then, just to at least have some kind of, reprieve before it ramps up again, okay? And that's just kind of just a standard, me being more of a, I don't know, conventional trader. I prefer to see healthy bull runs instead of these moonshots that just come crashing back down halfway, right? That doesn't make any sense to me. Why not just have a slow, continuous increase? I prefer that. Then you can take profits along the way, or just you can adjust your stop targets. This is craziness, but it's good crazy, I guess you could say, because we're all likely still in profit, right? How can you not be? You bought pretty much anywhere, and you're going to be in the green right now. That being said, let's go and take a look at the big picture, right? So I would say at this point, 367 would be a best case scenario if the price were to continue to pump and essentially do what it just did recently, again, in the next 48, 72 hours. We don't want that to happen in that time frame, of course. We want some consolidation, maybe even a retracement down to the next closest support, about 224, and then to buy the dip and effectively allow it for the price to bounce back up, right? So what we want to do here essentially is, just generally speaking, you want to consider waiting for the price to retrace and then adding to your position when it comes down lower. That's the general rule of thumb, the common theme for good trading, I guess you could say. However, Elon, Dogecoin, Shiba Inus, these ones are all kind of contradictory to that because it's mostly based on hype. and there's a really strong social sentiment pushing the price up as well. Regardless of all that, now that everyone's kind of on board there, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the important indicators, right? So we want to know if we're at a state of exhaustion. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that we are. Look at this on the 4-hour chart. Typically this is, reserved for the 1-hour chart, but on TD sequential, when you pull it up, what it does is basically it gives you a count from 1 to 9, right? 9 is effectively the highest point in which the price should consolidate from there in order to have a healthy increase afterwards, or it should retrace and then likely bounce once the numbers have reset. Well, this hasn't gotten a chance to do so, right? This little 8-hour retracement wasn't enough time, whereas the actual counter isn't increasing. It didn't go back to 1 and start over. It's still moving forward without a number. Therefore, we are in overtime, right? So at this point, we shouldn't see or expect to see a lot more increase moving forward. We need to see the consolidation period in one of these 2 or 3 channels to effectively be able to get that reset, get that cooling off period, and then an increase. A good example of that is if you look at Bitcoin, right? You take an example here and you see Bitcoin jumped up, I think it was in the range of 60 some odd percent. Yeah, about 60% from 40,000 to 67,000 at its top. And it had to come back down, right? It's coming down now, but it had such a significant increase that it was inevitable for that descending wedge pattern to become created, right? We see the same thing here for Elon. Hypothetically, this continues to the upside, we're going to see a stronger decrease. So the higher this goes, the further down it will fall. So just keep that in mind. Don't get too far ahead of yourself here. This can definitely turn around on you. So I would say move your stop losses up. Obviously, if you're in take profit target range right now. By the way, you should have set a profit target before you jumped in. You don't just jump into this and hope for the best. That's not what good trading is. But regardless, just say you are in take profit right now. You're close. You want to take your profits. Go ahead and do so, right? Heaven forbid it pumps up a little bit higher. The stronger it goes up, the more likely it is to come down, right? But the bottom line here is that one of these 2 support levels, even these 3 support levels here, will likely be the next target when the price retraces and comes back down. Okay, so that's kind of what we're looking at there. Let's do a quick look at the 1-hour chart and see where we're at for that as well, right? So according to the 1-hour chart with TD sequential, right? The sequence of numbers, we've got this 9 here, right? You can see that 9. And then essentially, we got a nice little reset, and now the price is ramping back up again. Okay, so that little helpful tool right there, essentially with that consolidation period of maybe only 6 hours, helped the price to get this next leg up, right? If we don't have that happen soon, it's going to be a crash and burn, okay? That being said, though, according to this, the 1-hour chart, we have about 4 hours left of potential bullish momentum. So the price could continue to increase for at least the next 4 hours, and then it should taper off from there. My hope is that the price just keeps going sideways for a good 20, 40, 48 hours, and then legs up at one of these next 2 support levels, or possibly even the third one down. All right. So again, support levels here, just so you know, because I know it's difficult to see, is 165, 197, 223, and 244. Okay, so I got some decent support channels there. I think we're in good shape if the price were to come back down. But just don't be surprised if it does, based on the simple fact that it's extremely overextended right now. We need to have a little bit more sideways action. Okay. So that's kind of what we're looking at there. I mean, all in all, good stuff, really. I mean, I think this has tremendous potential to get up to that 3 to 400 range for sure. It's just that if it gets up there right now, we can expect it to come down to 200, 100, somewhere in that range, because it's going to be a massive sell-off, right? Because we're not the only ones that have this, right? Keep this in mind. Yes, this is, a people's coin or whatever you want to call it, but we might only encompass a good 5 to 10% of the overall size of this coin, because somebody that has the most amount of volume, they're going to take their profits eventually, and we're all going to suffer from it if you don't have a stop loss in place, right? So just keep that in mind. All right, so that's pretty much everything there. I hope you found benefit. If you do, please like and subscribe. Consider joining my Patreon community, where we have a really good group of folks there. I'm basically just helping train better traders, creating better portfolios, for lack of better terms. And I share every single trade that I take with my members through Cornix, which is actually a trading bot, has trailing stop losses, profit targets. We always set 3 targets at a time. It's a really awesome situation. So again, check that out in your own time, of course, but thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. Hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.